Welcome to Matrix Live episode 4. Still from the same beanbags, and where we'll be going until at least the end of the year.
Yep, indeed. We are still squatting here in open market offices, although the big news is that we are now almost all working for New Vector, which is the commercial body that we've built in order to support Matrix going forward. But yeah, we're luckily enough going to be sitting on the beanbags until at least Christmas. So all of our threats of coming from a park or something aren't realised so far. It's the end of the week. We're pretty tired for a change, but wanted to give our update on where things are at.
So in terms of paperwork, so while we are at it, the Matrix Foundation setup is still ongoing, and yeah, should be finalized next week. It's at least the third time we're saying that, but this time it's probably very true.
And New Vector, as I said, it exists, and you should start seeing copyright statements popping up. However, this has all been a bit of an epic couple of weeks in terms of getting everything into its own sort of home. And we've done this enormous migration of all of our old infrastructure onto UpCloud, who are very kindly sponsoring Matrix. So thank you once again, UpCloud, for looking after all of our stuff. And we've basically migrated everything over and turned off the old data center today. This has been an epic, but it's got some good news beyond just logistics, which is a lot of things have got a lot faster. The UpCloud boxes are incredibly speedy, especially on I/O, and also everything is now IPv6 at last. So Synapse went and sprouted IPv6 support, I think in about January or February, thanks to lots of work by Kyrios and from the Twisted core team. And we haven't actually been running it ourselves in production, but now that we have a proper IPv6 native network, we've got everything talking it, including Federation and the website and all that good stuff. So, yay, the future, IPv6.
Yeah, and sorry for the troubles the migration might have induced, but I think it was pretty smooth, right?
Yeah, we lost about an hour of uptime on Freenode, as ironically due to the IPv6 shift in that everything started using the native IPv6 rather than the setup that we were using previously. But other than that hour outage, I think it should have been fairly transparent.
Yeah, so yeah. Thank you for this to the team who has been set. They've been on the site is focusing on that, so of course there hasn't been much progress, but still a bit of progress.
Yeah, there's been some good stuff. You want to tell us about the funding stuff?
So in terms of funding stuff, a bunch of Patreon donations. So we got the first money out of Patreon first. Some of them have been declined, so guys, if you have missed it, well, it might be good to check if anything got stuck. Otherwise, Patreon is at 1,900, well, almost 2K now.
Yeah, one of the donations that got declined was up at $2,000 a month. So our Patreon funding is kind of fluctuating a bit like cryptocurrency in terms of being up and down about 50% on a daily basis at the moment. It's not, I mean, it's better, it's pretty good, but it could be so much more, and things have slowed down quite a lot on the Patreon side. So please do tell your friends and family to help support there, because it will really, really help, especially in the next 2-3 months, to try to make ends meet for the team.
In terms of commercial sponsorship and consulting conversations that we still have on the side to manage to support the rest of the team. Nothing confirmed yet this week, but they're still progressing. So, well, same as ever, if you're a company and you're building stuff on Matrix or want us to build stuff for you on Matrix, please get in touch.
So meanwhile, though, some stuff has been happening on the dev side. The rich text editor debugging has been ongoing. Luke has been having a never-ending epic fighting draft.js, upgrading it, trying to get all of the weird and wonderful edge cases out, and it seems to be improving. Groups work has basically been screwed over by the migrations, but I think there's a few days left on the server side that Eric has been working on Synapse, and Dave has been doing the front end of it, and I think has got back into it in the last couple of days since the migration is done. A big shift after Exodus, which is what we've called this migration, has been starting to look more seriously at improving the amount of people we have working on dendrite. So dendrite has basically just been Mark for the last 6 months, with some support from Keegan and Rob, who was working on the media repository, and also Brendan, the intern, who's been working on profiles and account data and all this good stuff. But honestly, we need, I mean, at the current rate, it's going to be 6 months or longer until we get a version 1 out the door. So we're shuffling things around a bit to try to put more manpower onto it.
Bring fresh blood.
Yes, fresh blood, indeed. Part of this is liberating Eric from Synapse and the clutches of Python and Twisted, such that he can come and get involved in helping fill in some of the gaps on the dendrite side. Also, and that is most likely going to delay the state reset work that we spoke about a few weeks ago a bit, which is sort of a strategic trade-off. Do we go and try to fix the nasty state reset stuff and have sort of versioned rooms, or do we go and try to get dendrite along a bit sooner and try to fix state reset there, as well as in Synapse, but sort of more focus on how we might fix it on dendrite? We're going to do that as an experiment to see how it works. Also, what else is happening? Oh, Rich. So on the end-to-end encryption side of things, end-to-end is in a weird state, in that I personally haven't seen a undecryptable message bug for about 3 months. And I use it a lot. So either I've tuned myself to know precisely what to do to not trigger the bugs, or it's actually getting a lot better.
The only blocking point so far is having mobile doing the key sharing stuff, because that's where I see the problems. On web, everything works well. I haven't seen it neither.
Yeah.
Mobile
so, I mean, the mobile stuff isn't with Rich anyway.
Yep.
It's happening with Yannick and Manu in France. On the, what else? On the UX side of things, there's obviously lots and lots to be done there still, but that doesn't necessarily need to be blocked on Rich. And so we're basically trying to get everyone to pile onto dendrite and see how much we can speed it up, because it's at a point where there are lots of endpoints that people can jump on and have fun with, and I don't know, it'd be fun to actually make some concrete progress there, or more concrete progress. It's been ages, basically, since we've done one of those cool little animated GIF screen caps to show everybody dendrite working, and it's a shame because there's cool stuff there, but it would be even better if we can start using it in anger. Also, I heard that Mark was working on a monolith. So this is the dendrite monolith server, which is the taking all of the different services of dendrite, gluing it together into one great big single monolithic binary, and seeing how big it is, how fast it goes, and having it as much more of a Synapse alternative rather than being the super kind of Hangouts scale, super scalable thing that it is in its default incarnation. I don't know what the result is yet. Do you speak to him about it?
No.
Okay, we'll have to ask him to find out where it's at, but that would be pretty cool.
You went also to, in terms of the rest of the progress on mobile side, while we're at it, the user directory has been implementing on mobile side. Yeah,
so this is proper user search like we have on web on both iOS and Android. Not released yet, but you can get it on the developed stuff, which is great. Yannick did lots of things to the storage layer on Android, and it sucks much less. I think it's about 5 times less storage on Android than before, which has got to be a win.
And you can customize it, so that's good. And the initial implementation of the dark theme is coming as well at some point.
Yes, I think you said that
themeable, be able to theme.
Yeah, and that's on a branch, I think, but it's being built on Jenkins. So if you're a power user and want to go spelunking in Jenkins to find a dark theme capable Android client, thanks to the original PR by J.G. Kamat, if I remember correctly, and then some work from Sabrina and further work from Yannick, that's actually there for playing with. I don't think all of the screens have been dark themized yet, and I haven't actually played with it myself because we've been doing management hell, yay! It's going to be really cool and worth a look. And I guess finally, I went to Manchester last weekend. The GNOME community, the GNOME community invited us to talk at GUADEC, which is the GNOME annual developer conference, which was really, really nice, really, really cool thing. I'm gutted that I can only be there for about 3 hours because of all of the rushing around dealing with funding stuff at the moment. But we gave a talk about where things were at on Matrix. Everybody was using Matrix though, which was really cool, mainly because I think the conference venue blocked IRC ports, and so everybody had gone and defaulted over to Matrix, which is an amusing problem and a good thing for us. And had a couple of really interesting conversations with folks who are building GTK Matrix clients there, and some folks who want us to do some work, more information as we have it, to bring Matrix to other bits of the GNOME ecosystem. And it was really fun. Apparently the parties were great, and I missed them all.
Shame. I guess you missed your flight as well. That's why you were so late, right?
Yes, yes. At least said about my inability to get planes, the better. But it's all great. I love staying in hotels and airports. So I think that's probably about it for this week. Sorry that we're a bit dead, and thank you for continuing to support us and support Matrix, and hopefully we'll have more things about actually writing software rather than migrating data centers to talk about next week.
Yeah, hope so.
Okay.
Have a good weekend. See you next week.
Bye.